Hari Om. Can you please explain with an example how the state of complete surrender to Bhagavan is achieved? Let us consider we are traveling in a train. When we travel in the train or bus or any other vehicle, we will not keep our luggages on our shoulders or legs, etc. Right? Instead of carrying the luggages ourselves, we will naturally keep the luggages on the floor of the train or bus. Anyway, the train or bus is going to carry all the luggages, so we will keep our luggages in the place allocated for a particular seat, and we shall actually sit or lie down comfortably in the bus or train. Isn't it? The same way, the train carries all the luggages. Bhagavan carries all our problems, responsibilities, duties, etc. in our life. We can place them over to Bhagavan, and thereafter Bhagavan takes care of our burden as long as our attention uninterruptedly remains in the presence of Bhagavan, the pure I. Our mind is focused fully on Bhagavan, the presence of Bhagavan, the pure awareness, Atma, and Bhagavan will take all our responsibilities. Bhagavan will take care of all our things. This is what is called the state of surrender, Sharanagati. So, the important thing is to surrender completely to Bhagavan, Sharanagati. How it is achieved? By remaining in the state of Atmanishta. What is Atmanishta? To keep our attention always on the presence of Bhagavan, the pure I, pure being, by subsiding our mind or ego in its source of the pure being, the presence of Bhagavan. When our attention is always on the presence of Bhagavan, then ego naturally subsides, and whatever raising thoughts or desires will go away. So, to remain in the state of Atmanishta, wherein we have only Atma Chintana and we will not entertain any other unwanted thoughts, is what is called the state of surrender, Sampurna Sharanagati. And the way to achieve this is not to leave the presence of Bhagavan anytime. Let us always remember we are already in the presence of Bhagavan, and we only need to recognize this fact. Once we understand and recognize this fact, we don't really have to do anything to get into the presence of Bhagavan. We just have to remain still and be quiet. By being quiet and by being still, we are already in the presence of Bhagavan. We understand that we are in the presence of Bhagavan. How do we understand? When the mind is quiet, what we experience as our own being thereafter is what is called as the presence of Bhagavan. So the presence of Bhagavan is basically the awareness of our own existence. In fact, it is even wrong to say awareness of our own existence. It is awareness of the existence which is there, which we can experience when the mind is quiet. So we remain quiet. Thereafter, what remains is only the presence of Bhagavan. So let us keep this ultimate truth always in our mind. The more we remain in the presence of Bhagavan, the more easily it will be so for us to remain in the presence of Bhagavan further. The mind, after tasting the happiness of being subsided in the presence of Bhagavan for some time, will again and again seek that subsidence instead of running away towards worldly objects. This is the truth which we can verify with the practice of Mahayoga, the supreme practice of Atmanishta, by which we can always remain in the presence of Bhagavan and being in the state of complete Sampurna Sharanagati, surrender towards Bhagavan. So let us be in the state of complete Sampurna Sharanagati towards Bhagavan, and what remains is only the grace and the presence of Bhagavan thereafter. Arunachala Hritspurti Swarupanugrahatmani Namo Bhagavate Drashtre Ramanaya Nirantaram. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.